This is about Gladis Lucile Martin. She was born October the 26th, 1907 in Everman, Texas, out at the Will Sims farm. She died February the 25th in 2001. She was 93 years old, and that was in Haltom City. Her father was William Sims Martin. Her mother was Tiny Takora Vaughn, and she married William Thomas Down, which most people call him Uncle Buff. And they had two kids, Herman Petty Down Sr. and Donald Down Martin. Donald Martin Down. They usually called him Don. So here's the story, a little story about Gladys and her family.
Oh, this is Wiley Ray Hodges. I became acquainted with the Martin family when I married Tiny Marie Martin in 1943. Tiny Marie was the daughter of William Everett, known as Abe, and Mary Martin. We call her Aunt Lucile. She lived west of downtown Fort Worth, which is probably around Williams Road in the White Settlement area. They had a farm, several acres, 100 acres or so. They had a farmhouse up on a hill. They had the two boys that they raised there. We like to go see my wife and I, we like to go see Aunt Gladys. She's very likable, had a lot of funny stories, and she was delightful. Everybody liked her. She showed my wife how to mop the floor because she had a bad back, etc. It was merely just putting the floor, cleaning on the floor, towel, and taking her feet and scooting around and clean it. That worked for my wife in latter years as well. But she's very delightful. We spent most of our time with the family out at Abe Martin's house in Mary's. It seemed like that was a place that most people would come for the Martin get-togethers. They had a large family portraits in the backyard of about 40 or so of all of the family, which we have. Don't know too much about Uncle Buff other than he did the farming and married to Aunt Gladys.
Gladys Lucile Martin, and we're going to discuss the married with William Thomas Down, her Uncle Buff. We're going to discuss the two boys, Herman Petty Down Sr. and Donald Martin Down.
This is Wiley Ray Hodges. I became affiliated with all these families of the Martins, etc. in 1943 when I married William Everett Abe, and Mary Martin's daughter, Tiny Marie Martin. I married her in 1943. In that years, Aunt Gladys and Uncle Buff and them had the two boys. We kind of met at families, etc. Herman Petty Down and was worked at the Santa Fe Railroad, not too far from my printing company in Fort Worth. He would come by and visit a lot. He was a professional or about a professional photographer. He did lots of photography work, and this is why we were friends. Now, my son, Wiley David Hodges, was also a friend of him in the camera clubs. And Herman, naturally, he grew up with his family in the White Settlement area. And he married to a Joanne Judkins, and they had a family of 3 children, Herman Jr., Alice, and Nancy. I knew the kids fairly good, but I knew him and Joanne better. Herman was more into my part of the family than the rest of them, and he lived in Haltom City. He became sick, and I think he passed away there took his own life. Now, the brother, Don Down, knew Don. He was a different part of the family. I mean, different friend of the type from me. Don Martin Down and his wife, Joanne Judkins, their children. I didn't know their children, but Don was at a lot of the family dinners and things, and William Everett and Mary Abe Martin seemed like that's where they had most of the Thanksgiving dinners and the Christmas dinners, and he was kind of the place everybody met. So I knew these kids, etc., through that part of the angle, and that's about all I can say, really.